What's up, guys? This is the Healthy Gossip Podcast, and today we're going to start off episode 10 a little differently. Mr. Morgan J, do your thing.
Yeah. Why don't you let me lick your butthole? Yeah. Why don't you let me lick your butthole? Yeah, this is the butthole song. What's up? It's good to be here. It's good to be here with you, Krystle.
Yes. And we do have Alex Kahn in the studio, on-air producer. We're in the comedy pop-up, guys.
Not a con man at all. I feel like a co-host rather than a guest today.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
we could definitely host a show together.
Yeah, let me look at you. I feel like you look way better than I do today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, usually it's you, right?
I think you look way better than I do today.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So,
What's going on, girl?
Today's very special to me because Alex and I did the first 2 episodes of the Healthy Gossip, where it was just basically him and I just
going back and forth,
shooting the breeze about my personal life. And believe it or not, you actually were mentioned quite a bit. So, Alex, did you know that this is the comedian?
No.
This is the comedian.
Can you turn this down a little bit on my headphone? Is that possible? Yeah, this is it is I. Is there a thing
it is he.
It is I, and it's good to be talked about. It's good to be gossiped about.
Yeah, I know you didn't listen. I know you didn't.
Wow,
hear.
look at this.
Yeah.
I don't listen to.
Do you need one of these?
No. I've gone through a phase. Yeah, this is great. I've gone through a phase where I'm not listening to podcasts right now. It's not personal. I have even the ones I normally listen to. I'm not even listening to right now.
Well, normally I feel like people kind of maybe hit play on like 5 minutes of one before they get on one, but I didn't tell you to. When I was on your podcast, and Morgan has a podcast called Relationship Status.
Currently on hiatus because we are figuring out the rest of my life this year because there's some things going on. I don't know what to do.
Can I talk about that for a second? Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So by the time this is released, so tomorrow, there's a viewing party that I'm probably going to be at. I won't say because, I don't want just a bunch of randos.
No, we could talk about
it.
It's
but
okay.
So tell us about this show that you're about to be on next week.
Yeah, I'm on this show called NBC's Bring the Funny. It's some would say it's a Last Comic Standing reboot, but what makes it different is that it involves stand-up, sketch comedy, and variety comedy, and I fall into the variety category with my musical comedy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And my episode airs July 16th, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then 10 p.m. Then it airs later at 10 o'clock, right after America's Got Talent here in L.A. And I'm really nervous. I'm going to watch the premiere episode tonight. I'm just nervous about how they edited it. That's the hardest word to say, how they edited it together. I just got an email from them asking, well, I can't really give too much away, but in any case, there's still some things I have to figure out for the show.
So in a show like that, you have no idea what the results are until when? Until you watch it? Or?
Yeah, well, you guys don't. I know what the results are up to a certain extent. That we filmed a certain amount of it. That doesn't mean I made it any farther than anybody else did, but I'm just saying they filmed 9 out of the 11 episodes already.
Wow.
And then we have to see.
Is there a viewer's choice aspect to it?
At some point, the America does become involved, and
nice. Juicy.
So we'll see what the future brings for the comedians and the performers on the show. It was a really interesting experience for me to learn how to work with network producers and executives because I pitched them a lot of my songs and ideas, and you got to change some things up, take some words out, finagle stuff, but at the end of the day, just remember it's got to stay fun.
So I feel that a lot of people got some substantial careers out of Last Comic Standing.
They did, and specifically the first season, from what history tells us, the actual making of it was kind of, I heard it was a shit show.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard. But everybody who was on that first season went on to do really great things. I think Eliza Schlesinger was on that season.
Oh, that was the season she was on?
Season 1, yeah, first season.
First, I don't
Or
know.
no, Dat Fan one was the first season. But there are some people who made it out of there alive with some good. Like
I mean, I work at a lot of comedy clubs. It's still a very prevalent credit, and it
Oh,
still
yeah.
flies. Everyone knows what it is. It's got name recognition
Totally.
like crazy. So
I don't know if this name is as fluid as Last Comic Standing. Bring the Funny. It's
oh,
kind
it's
of
easy to say.
yeah.
Bring the funny.
Morgan J from NBC's Bring the Funny. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of
Bring
syllables.
the funny. Last
But-
comic standing.
Yeah, you know, I'm excited. I'm just nervous. You know, I'm gonna have this viewing party, and I'm nervous that we're all gonna be watching, and then it's gonna look really cheesy, and I'm just gonna be like, I'll be the first one to admit if it's not to my liking. I have no problem tearing myself down.
So you guys can agree or disagree with me. It is, in my opinion, that musical comics kind of have an okay reputation.
Everybody fucking hates what we do. They don't respect us through and through.
Well, I've personally been on a show with a really bad, like,
it's
but
really
but
easy
see,
to
but
do it.
which it's not fair because there's so many just bad stand-ups in general. I
You
mean,
know,
like
in every career-
we're all bad at first, you know.
100%. In every career, there are people who are not good at their job.
Right, and I thought
know?
that was interesting too. That
Presidents.
we're the one art form, in my opinion, that in order to get good, you have to keep doing it over and over again in front of actual people. So it's not like music per se, when you can just be in a room practicing and practicing and practicing and be like, okay, I feel good. Like as comics, you have to go.
I 100%. Yeah, totally. I 100% agree with that. I think it's interesting. I keep in mind when I'm watching younger comics perform now. I've been doing this 12 years. I did stand up for 6, the music comedy for 6 now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm 48. No, I started when I was 20 in New York, and then I think a lot of people don't realize that because I had a lot of false starts. But I don't try to judge comics if they have a bad set. I take into account how long they've been doing it, how hard they work at it. I mean, because I know for me it was always an issue that people's first impression of you can often be their only impression of you. So I think it's unfair to see comics and not give them that time to grow. I mean, there's only a few people who would say like within 3 years are like fantastic.
Absolutely. We were
And-
just having a conversation as we were waiting to come in here about a comic. He's been doing it
Yeah.
for 10 years that I don't see it. There's a couple. I know personally a couple of comics that have been in the game for 10 years. And when I say 10, I mean like I don't think they've really stopped.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't tell.
It's interesting, right? Because you have to, I think
Shade.
you should, no, you, as a performer, you should look back on, and I forget where I heard this from, but if you look back on stuff you were doing 2 years ago, if you're not embarrassed by it or feel weird about watching it, you're not growing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it like you have to be every like 2 years. I know even every 3 to 6 months, I'm like, I don't like, I gotta, even with the music now, I'm like, I gotta evolve, I gotta change it up. I gotta do even something more with it.
They
you know what I mean?
posted what I did this weekend, and I didn't even watch that. And I was like, I didn't feel good about the set. And I was just like, I don't want to watch it. I don't want. I recorded it. Even the only time I'll force myself to really listen to it is if I know that there was a bit in there that I liked that I want to rework. Other than that, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, real talk.
It was a wash.
If you honestly ask yourself, would I buy tickets to see that? You know, and you say yes, you got to do some like stuff from old stuff. You got to evaluate like your own comedy and shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You got to evolve. It's not about being the best, dude. It's about
Getting better.
Evolve.
Oh,
About
absolutely.
evolve. It's about evolve. It's about evolving.
Well, it's like growing a tree. It's got to get bigger, but you have to prune the base still. You got to
100%.
You can't just let it grow wild. You've got to keep it tight and keep it in your yard.
Yeah, and you know what? I think all the stuff you do when you start out, Krystle, how long you been doing this?
Consistently for like a year now.
Comedy.
Yes. Well, I did my first mic 10 years ago, but I stopped for a really
Like a
long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So I would, when people ask me now, I say I've been back for a year.
Yeah, so when you're another 10 years in, when you're 10 years in, look back at the material you did in your first 2 years, because oftentimes that material is the rawest and most interesting stuff to you
that's
at the
true.
time,
Yeah.
and you just don't have the confidence and the level of performance to deal with it yet.
Okay.
Just keep that in mind, because
That's
it's not
cool.
that what you're doing is bad or you can't deliver it.
Right.
You just don't have, like, I'm going back and doing stand up again, and I'm looking at old bits and stuff, and I'm finding it a little bit
I agree
easier
with
to go,
that because
you know?
that's what I think the benefit is of actually recording. I have so many
Oh.
things, and even just my notes where I'm like, oh man, that's
Girl.
actually funny. I should rewrite that.
I'm debating posting the first 6 months in. I did a set at Caroline's on Broadway, and I bombed so hard that I cried that night. And
I
have
love
it on. I
it.
have it on tape because I paid $40. It was like Caroline's. I was like, this is it. I made it.
This is it, dude.
Yeah, somebody's gonna see Morgan Venticinque at the time, and
No, you didn't. You went by that name?
yeah, for the first
Holy
6
crap.
years.
What was it?
Morgan Venticinque.
Okay.
That's my full name is Morgan J. Venticinque.
I thought you said that was like your full name. Like I went by Venta Cinque. I was like,
Oh
who the-
yeah, it's very Italian, and I just dropped it because nobody could say this shit. So
Morgan
yeah, I'm
J
thinking about
works.
Morgan J.
That's a
yeah,
star.
there's a lot of J's. Sam J.
That's
Paul
a
J.
star. You see how you
Morgan
did that?
J.
The
That's-
star. The star. The
I saw how you
star
did
in your
that.
car.
Oh yeah, I left the Star gummies you gave me as a gift in my car.
I'm not salty. I bet you they're yummy.
She's salty about a lot of things. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
We'll get into the salt.
We'll get into the
We'll
salt.
get into the salt. Right now we're talking about sugar.
That's right.
Sweet first.
That's right.
Sweet first. So, well, cool. Yeah, thank
It
you
is
for that
cool.
tip. And yeah, I also want to thank you because he's one of the people who says, hey, I see that you're hustling.
Oh
And-
yeah, I have a lot of respect for that. If you're going out every night doing multiple mics or shows, I got a lot of respect for that because I
Yeah,
think a
thank
lot of
you.
people they don't. I mean, it looks like you're grinding like a New York comic. in
Well, thank
LA,
you. Oh, that's such a nice compliment.
You know, because in New York, people be going out 4 to 5 times a night, hitting this mic, 2 minutes here, 3 minutes there, 4
Yeah.
minutes there. And in LA, it's really easy to feel like you're on a vacation all the time, you know?
And it's really sad because in LA, we are given the privilege of being able to do that. We're actually able to do 4 or 5 mics in a
In
night.
LA?
Yeah, absolutely.
You think so?
Well,
You
I
got a
guess-
car, you can hit 3.
Yeah.
well, if you want to even just do Burt's back to back and
That's
then go
true.
to another one back to back, boom, and then you're out in 55 minutes. Where can you do that? You got to pay.
Yo,
but
that person at Burt's is making a killing, huh? You figure, right?
Are you, Rachel?
I mean, compared to what you're paying for rent on Melrose, I'm a host of hers and a friend of hers.
Is it on
mean,
Rachel?
there's-
Who? I don't know. I haven't been there yet.
Cuthbert, yeah. Her
Oh.
last name's Cuthbert. That's where Burt's comes from. But
Oh.
yeah, no, I mean, if you're paying Melrose rent, you got to think about that too. So.
Yeah, because what? It's every day.
Because people
it's like
complain
6.
about it, and it's like, yeah, but
I'm not
have you-
complaining
no,
about
no,
it.
I know you're not, but a lot of people complain about pay to play, and it's like, well, you know,
It's one of those things, you know.
Yeah.
Some
But
it's a one item or.
I think that's silly. Yeah, exactly.
I like it because if you spend $10, you know you get to do 10 minutes.
Oh, is that what it
Yeah.
is?
Well, no, it's
Yeah.
5 for 5, but you could say if you stay for 3 hours at the Comedy Store, you might get called to do 3 minutes. If you stay for 3 hours at Burt's,
You'll do 15.
it's going to cost you about what one beer will cost you at the Comedy Store,
Yeah.
and you're doing 15 minutes. So
Yeah, and then
I look
people are
at it
listening.
as enabling, you know. Yeah, and people are listening.
And it's just the comics in that hour in the
Yeah.
room. So what, like 12 people or
9 people.
That's still-
45
that's
minutes
still
of comedy.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's still really
And
good.
if a comic's worth their salt and they keep the crowd, if you like, there was a kid, a musical comic, who was like trying to sit in the back and play guitar the whole time, and I was like, nah, man, you gotta, like, I know you're not paying attention when you pick up a guitar, so you gotta sit in the room and be present, you know.
Yeah,
And
totally.
If people, if the host does it, yeah, it's good work.
Yeah, dude, I'm still doing mics.
You can get
Still
up.
doing
You
it.
can get up a lot here. You're
Did-
right, Krystle.
I did
you.
that. I did that 11:30 mic last night at the Cinema Bar.
Oh, that always hurts.
Yeah, you know, still gotta get those reps in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a show. Can I talk about this real quick? I did a show last
Absolutely.
Wednesday, and while I was on stage, this guy is in the crowd with his bros, and he goes, while I'm on stage, he goes, "Bro, I fucking hate this. Let's get out of here." It's hilarious. And I said,
No.
I told the crowd, I told the crowd, I'm like, yo, you could be 12 years in, you could be on TV, you could be making a living, and you
Doesn't
know,
matter.
it doesn't matter, man. That's why I
That's
like
actually
comedy.
a nice transition, though,
That's
into
why I like comedy.
how we met.
Yeah.
We were doing a show at Anchor Bar in
That's
Costa
right.
Mesa, and I was immediately a fan. And
Here
I
we go.
remember I was like, hey, what's your Instagram?
He sang "Lick Your Butthole," and she was like, "I'll follow."
I forgot what I sang there.
Well, no, what really got me was your crowd work. Because
Oh,
you
yeah, people like
talked to
that.
some girl, and you're like, you look like you're the type that does shrooms and shit.
There was one guy, I saw him, he had a hat on, and I'm like, you dude, do you play golf? Are you a pro golfer? And he was like, yeah, I am. I was like, oh shit, nailed that shit.
Yes! Oh my God.
Do you remember that?
Yes. Oh my God.
I remember some shit.
Yeah, and then.
And then we had this whole thing. We talked about it on my podcast where like I unfollowed you, and then followed you again.
I mean, we can talk about that really fast. So yeah, I drunk Instagram FaceTime called Morgan because I was
an Instagram.
FaceTime call someone.
you can
That's
FaceTime,
right.
yeah, on Instagram, and honestly, the
And he
quality's really
didn't
good.
answer, but then he responds right away, and he goes, "Why FaceTime?" And I wrote a bit about that. I did that at the Ice House. That was actually really fun.
You knew why.
Yeah, because I wanted to see that.
I mean, do you want to see it? Wait, I already sent you a photo.
Did you?
I did. I think so.
No comment.
Now who's smitten on her own podcast?
I mean,
We kissed.
on stage. Did you? I haven't told you that story.
I know.
And we
no.
kissed off the stage.
So what happened is
Tell us, girl.
he
Are you nervous?
I asked him if he wanted to. Okay, I apologized, and like a day after, I had to work a 12-hour shift the following day, and I said, "Hey, I'm sorry. I don't know what I said because I was obviously really embarrassed. I erased the whole conversation." And then he's like, "No worries." And I think that right away I said, "Do you want to do the Ice House
Something like that.
next month?" And you're like, "Yeah, I've never done that room." And I was like, "Great."
All right.
And then I don't know. Oh, then we started talking.
Started chatting, started texting and DMing and
Chatting
shit.
it up, yep.
Yeah.
And then I invited him out to a concert.
Oh, I know. I would have
Yeah.
gone to that shit too.
And he said that in the text. I would have gone. And I said,
What was the concert?
It's funny 'cause-
Phanogram?
Phanogram? I don't know, but I had a concert. I would have invited because I would have invited you to a concert too. I think it was the night I went to a concert with a buddy, and I think that was the night you texted me about that shit.
No, you had two shows. You were performing in Santa Barbara.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have gone.
And then I said, "I'm glad you're single." And then he said,
I told her, I said, I'm kind of seeing somebody, but it's an open thing.
full disclosure.
Honesty.
I told her before we walked in here, I was like, listen, we could still hook up. I just can't fall in love with you.
Well, and you know what's so funny is now I'm actually in a relationship.
Girl, with who?
And-
Come on. Who the fuck be singing to you? Who gonna treat you like I'm gonna treat you?
No, and then he goes, "What did you say to me?" It was so funny. No, because I remember I talked about that on the podcast too. Is you were like singing those songs, and you were like, "I don't know, I'm just trying to make you fall in love with me right now." And I was
Was
like,
I doing that on the show? Where was I doing that?
No, in your apartment after
Oh,
we
after my
recorded. Yes, he
podcast.
sang for
Yeah,
me.
I sang for
He
you.
was crooning.
So is it? I hosted a spot at Bert's the other day that Krystle was at, and I could have swore you said that was over. Yeah. What's going on? Let's
Shit,
get juicy.
Krystle. Wow. Now we get to the
Now
healthy
we know it's-
gossip. The healthy gossip is coming.
We had beef because something had happened.
How old is this guy? First of all.
34.
And how did you meet him?
He actually came to a mic that I host.
He's a comedian.
Yes.
What's his
Are you
name?
taking a picture of me?
No, I'm doing a little video.
Oh.
What's his name?
I don't say his name. I don't say anyone's name that I like. Like for example, I never said your name one time on the podcast.
Does he look like me?
No.
Is he funny?
How
long has he been
He's not
doing
a
it?
comic. No, no. Oh no,
Oh.
he came because his friends are fans. They go to Anchor Bar every once in a while, and I don't know. I guess his friend didn't know if K Squared was a show because it's really actually very much like a show. You could come do a long.
It's a
spot
little
if you
theater,
ever wanted.
right?
Yeah, it's such a cool
I've done
room.
that room.
You have?
A long.
Or the Aurora Theater?
I've done the Aurora Theater, but
Okay.
somebody else ran the show.
Yeah, if you ever want to come and do
It's like an hour away, right?
I mean, it's Long Beach.
Okay. I don't want to drive anywhere anymore. I remember I moved here. I hit the ground running. And this isn't about me. So tell me about this dude.
That's it.
Making me jealous and shit. What does he do?
He does he's in sales.
Clearly sold you. Why are you getting all hot, girl?
I'm sweating.
You know what? I was just with a friend an hour ago, and she has 2 kids, and she started breastfeeding at the table, like next to me, and I got hot and like nervous. I was like, well, where do I look? What do I do?
Really?
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, because it was like
Wait, was she breastfeeding both of them?
just one.
Oh.
Well, she's just one baby, and then the other titty, she was just spraying milk everywhere. No, just the one, just one baby. And I saw some of like these young millennials looking at her like, can you like their head? They're like, yo, she got a titty out, and it's like, whatever, dude. I just was, you know what it was? I felt nervous if she felt nervous. I don't know because I've known her for a long time pre, baby, and like
Did you hook up with her?
never.
Okay.
I always did find her attractive though. She's an attractive woman.
Okay. I always find that interesting too. Like a guy that I've dated who's like now married with children.
It's crazy, right?
I'm always like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I think I've actually mentioned this before on the podcast that it was a guy who was probably 4 years younger than me. He approached me. And I was like, how old are you? I think at the time he was 23, 24. And I said, you're too young for me. And he goes, I got my shit together, girl.
Oh, boss move.
And I was like, all right, I'll hang out. But I was
I
already.
got my shit together.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And guess what?
Did
now he's married and has a baby, and he's just chilling and he's living his life. And
He's like, I told you.
yeah, exactly.
I used to have my shit together, and it wasn't until I moved out here that I realized how like
Not together your shit was?
no that like that's a thing. Like now that I don't have my shit together, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, I did. I was dope young. Now I'm a loser, but oh
How
man,
old are you?
I'm 28. I'm 28 now.
I'm 32.
Yeah.
I mean, I still got a roommate, and,
yeah, but you're about to blow up.
we hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Well, the thing about you is, like I said, it's you don't know until you see it. Because
I know.
it's one of those
Yo,
things like
this
you have to
chick-
see it.
this executive. I had a meeting, one of these general meetings, and she like watched my whole hour. I have a spec hour special that I shot, and she just was like, I gotta be honest with you. When your manager told me about you, I wasn't sold, but I ended up watching your whole hour, and I really liked it.
Wow.
And then
It's a compliment.
it is a compliment, and
Well, that's one thing that he said to me. He was like, do you like me? Or is it my talent?
I remember that.
it's like
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
it's like girls. They
So
only
let me
like
let me ask you about that. So like
for
you're
my music.
confident in your talent, like you know.
Now I am.
Okay, but you still have insecurities about like your physical because you posted something. It was like you and your friend Pat and like this other comic, and he was really handsome.
Oh,
and you're
how-
like, I never feel like I fit in,
I never do feel like I fit in.
but you're so attractive.
Yeah, but I just don't feel like I grew up in a town with a ton of white people. I felt like the ethnic person.
Oh, so it's an ethnic thing. It's not an attractive, like good looking thing.
I felt like socioeconomically, I felt because I grew up in a rich town, but I was one of the poor. Like my mom used to clean like rich people's houses in the neighborhood,
Okay.
shit like that. We were the single parent. Like my dad died when I was a kid, so when I had like my rich white friends over, like their parents thought they were doing drugs at my place. You know what I mean? They thought like, oh, the poor kid. I don't know if I wouldn't say like I was poor because poverty, I think
Right.
is relative depending. Like you could have $20 million in the Hamptons, but then you next to a billionaire, you're gonna feel like
That was one of the funniest things a host ever said to me at Bert's. Is he was like, they say you never really can imagine what it feels like to live in poverty if you haven't. He was like, and I'm starting to realize I'll never know what it feels like to be attractive. But
Yo.
it was so funny because it was like after I was talking about like, yeah, I was like, my ex sent me Postmates last night. And I was like, well, bitch, like, thanks for the food. And then he followed it up with that, and it was just hilarious because he's like, yeah, no one's sending me Postmates.
damn, that's very romantic.
Yeah.
So what else we want to talk about? We want to talk. You still salty with me, or what's up? You said I broke your heart.
Okay. So, well, what had happened? So we
What
talked about
happened?
what had happened is we talked about this actually the last episode about monogamy. So do you feel like that's not a thing for you ever, or is that just the thing you're doing now?
I was talking to my therapist about this, and I
Okay.
was like,
I
maybe
thought you said you don't have money.
I got health insurance for now. Listen, I got money.
He knows it's coming.
Here's the thing. I made more money than I ever did last year. I have not made I haven't even made like a quarter of what I made last year yet this year. But as an entertainer, the money you make is like not indicative of how rich you are because like the money last year is basically my income for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And like
It's got to stretch.
it's got to stretch. And come September, if this show don't do nothing for me, I'm gonna have to start working retail again, getting some sort of job because, and I have a Honda Fit used from 2009 that's missing 2 hubcaps. You know what I mean? I'm not out here killing the game. I got health insurance because I made the quota for SAG-AFTRA, but I don't think I'm gonna make it this year. So then I'm gonna figure out. Like I told my therapist, I'm like, hey buddy,
Medi-Cal. I have Medi-Cal.
I don't know, man. It's just like I've been living 2 years without a normal job, and
Congratulations.
it's
That's an
exci-
accomplishment.
it's an accomplishment. It's exciting, but it's also scary because you got to live. I'm learning how to live with like trusting something
great.
will happen. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But there's no guarantee. However, I do feel like with this this TV show, I'll be able to headline and stuff, and I'll be able to.
That's
make a living
why
doing that.
I do always mention the comic. I don't know if you guys know who he is, Daniel Ichis. He's
I know him. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I mean, I know him.
I respect him because he's the one who told me the same thing. He was like, "Yeah, Krystle, I was out of college and I was a barista, and then I was about to lose my job, and I was like, well, am I gonna do this?" And ever since then, he's been doing it. Like
Yeah.
he's just a professional comic,
You just fucking do it.
and he's doing it. Yeah, and he's like super underground, and most people haven't heard of him. And I think he's got like 5K followers.
There's a
and just-
lot of comics who can be making a living
Yeah,
and be
Yeah.
doing it, but it's harder to like. If you're not a big comic, you're really working hard for all your money.
You got to be an entrepreneur. It's the skill of being a comedian is easy to sell if you know how to sell and build a business and host and organize events. That's what I'm learning is everything that all your favorite people do, you can replicate on a very small scale. You don't have to
Yeah.
do a theater. You could do a bar. Why not? You
Yeah.
can't
Right.
sell out of you can't sell 100 tickets for $10 in LA. How many followers you have?
me like 3,000.
Quit your day job.
I thought about that too. Well, even at the Aurora Theater, I'm like, if I try to turn that into a show where I booked like a headliner or something, and I told them, okay, I want this percentage, like, you know, and then I slowly started doing that a couple nights a week and just kind of became like a producer. I think I could eventually even do that. And I mean, and because my goals have always been kind of like to be a host. Like I've always wanted.
Oh yeah, like a TV host,
like Chelsea Handler.
like Olivia Munn.
Did she host?
She was a host before she made it. She hosted the show on G4 TV called Attack of the Show.
No, I want to like just have famous people come be on my show and talk to them. Like I don't want to be like a poker host or anything like that or a support. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Well, and then but yeah, you also want to be an actor.
I mean, I am an actor.
Well, like you don't care what you want to do it all basically. Like you want to be
I
like
mean,
what's your career?
I'd
dream?
rather perform live and act rather than also like write and produce a TV show. I mean, I have ideas for shows, but
Okay.
the work that's involved with producing and writing a show is very large. And your boy, low key, like he does work hard, but he's kind of lazy too. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to be
feel
in an
that.
office from 10 to 7 o'clock. I
I
don't want to have
tell-
to do rewrites and shit. I want to show up, learn my lines, do the shit, get out of there.
I tell that to people on why I keep taking classes. And it's like, because I'm a lazy writer. And like,
Yeah,
if
man.
you show up to classes, you know, it forces you to bring something. And then you're going to, whether you're going to throw up a bag of shit on stage, then you get help. Do you
Exactly.
want to sing us a
Oh
song?
no, I'm
Morgan?
just getting it out in case I want to just do a little diddle.
Well, how about I want you opened up with the Lick Your Butthole song, and I do want to say one of my favorite comments. I saw that on YouTube, and one of the comments was, "How does this not have 1 million views?" Because you're like a really sneaky, talented person.
Yeah,
Again,
if you look at I have a couple videos that have a small amount of views in the term of like viral terms or whatever. But if you look at my like to dislike ratio, I mean, I'm doing all right. And like they posted Chocolate Sundays, for example, posted a clip of me. Chocolate Sundays is a show here in LA. They got a little Instagram account. It's got like 30K
Laugh
followers.
Factory.
The Laugh Factory. And if you look at all the comments on my video that they posted, I think one of them was negative, and it was
Wow.
mostly like. It was like, no disrespect to this dude, but like music comedy, it was the normal thing, like, oh, music comedy is whatever. And then there were these people who came to my defense and shit.
good.
And then I commented on it and I was like, I feel you.
Aw, so humble.
Because I get it.
No, but that's just it. It's because I'm a hater too to the bad ones. Because it's like it's already hard enough to do comedy as it is. So then to throw a musical instrument into there and just be like, okay, let's just do two really challenging things together.
Nothing's worse than an open mic that turns into a karaoke session because they don't know. Like, if you're not musically talented, I want nothing to do with your musical comedy. But if
Right.
you're musically talented first, then try comedy. There are a lot of
Yeah.
people who are comedically talented who are like, I'll throw a guitar in the mix. If
Yeah,
you're not
but-
an actual accomplished musician, it's hard to do.
Yeah, because what happens is they'll do something like this. They'll have
Strum pattern
They'll
garbage.
have three. They'll have. So then they'll just have the three chords, you
Yeah.
know, and they'll be like, "Was driving down the street the other day,
Oh God.
saw a guy, he was playing with his ding dong. I said, oh, what you doing, guy? He said, go fuck yourself." And then like you're like, well, what the fuck is this song really about?
Yeah.
You know. But here, I'll play you something real quick. This is actually, I write real songs. You want to hear a little snippet of one of my actual songs?
Absolutely.
I want this song to be like in an indie film. Okay, this
Okay.
is called.
Can I
One
record this?
Yeah, this is called One Shot
Okay.
of Tequila. Saw your car, and I haven't played this in a while. Saw your car, and I thought it was you. Heard someone say your name the way I used to. This keeps happening all the time. Need to find a way to clear my mind. That's why I'll have 2 shots of gin and 2 shots of, 2 shots of gin and 2 shots of rye. Need to find. See, I haven't played this in a while, but you get it.
Yeah.
Got
I'm
that
such a
funny
stalker. I've
fe-
seen this already.
You haven't seen? Oh, you seen that?
Yep.
Got that funny feeling in my eyes. Yes, I'm 1 shot of tequila or a nice margarita. Yes, I'm 1 shot away from forgetting you. That's just like a verse and a chorus of it.
How long have you been playing guitar?
About half my life. I'm 32 now, so since I was about 16.
Nice.
What were you doing at NYU?
I was doing theater. There.
Okay.
I auditioned to get into school.
Okay.
I'm working on a new song about getting freaky deaky.
You auditioned, so you're an actor first.
Yeah, I mean that
Okay.
school is one of the top 5 acting schools.
Okay.
So I feel like, you know, I have like a good.
I assumed you went there for music.
No. I just did
Okay.
that on my. I played piano for about 10 years. I'm not a good musician, man. Like if you put me in a band with some real musicians and they were like, Morgan, can you pick up at the 4th beat on the root note of that chord? I'd be like, nah, dude, I gotta go.
You play alone, yeah.
Yeah, I just.
Wow.
Also, when I do the music comedy, like I don't do it to a full rhythm because sometimes I'll stop and I'll do something. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And
I'm
I like,
embarrassed by some of the old songs I've written.
and I like how we got on this monogamy topic and it just went. Phew.
Oh yeah, monogamy. Sorry.
Oh, let's get back into it. Let's
Well, 'cause-
monogamy, polygamy, bestiality. Things are not as simple as it used to be.
yeah, amen to
And I
that.
have a whole song about that shit too.
Because so basically, you kind of went off on something, and then you made a comment, Alex, about
It doesn't matter how we got here, but let's go back to where we need to be.
because that was we were like again we were talking about it on the last episode about monogamy, and so you clearly are. Oh, that was my question. So, do you ever see yourself being married with children?
You know, I'm starting to feel guilty every time I see. I just don't know if I could have children. I feel guilty bringing them into this world.
Okay.
We're running out of resources. The earth is on fire. Sea levels are rising. I mean, what is the what is the
Shaking.
world going to look like for them?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And I honestly, on a daily basis, think about like, fuck, I need to get that big paycheck so I could buy a house in the woods in Washington State with a cistern, solar panels, live off the grid, and shit like that. That's what I think about like regularly. That's where I'm at. I'm like, I gotta learn how to shoot a gun, like for real. I like as soon as I get a little bit of money, a little bit more time, I'm gonna go to the LAX shooting range. Gonna learn how to shoot this gun. Gonna learn how to clean it. I'm gonna keep it locked up. It's gonna be part of my earthquake kit just for the end of days because I gotta be able to protect myself and my boo, whoever I'm with. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, I really genuinely feel like shit's gonna go down
While you're alive.
So
while I'm alive.
Here's
Okay.
something I'll point out just to speak to that is you sit here and you go, the world's going crazy and the resources and at one point, parents were like, I can't bring a kid into the world. There are wolves and my house is made of canvas. You know, I live in a
Wow,
teepee.
that's interesting.
So, I mean, that's always been the case.
That's
Survival of the
interesting.
species has always been the case, you know?
Yeah, I guess
That
it's
was
just
deep.
I just get it. It just feels like the warnings are coming more and more like every day now with these articles about sea. I mean, I read something about.
Quit reading those articles.
I don't read them either.
I don't know, man. I'm stressed out about it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's fair enough.
It's like we all out here dabbing and juuling and like the earth is on fire.
And you
know what I'm saying?
said with your boo, whoever you're with, so like, let's say you're like one of those last 50, you know, that's rebuilding. You're gonna be like, hey, boo, we gotta. Then you'll probably like
That's
have
when you have
kids.
kids,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you know, back when we were just like hunters and gatherers and shit like that, everybody's hooked up with everybody. It wasn't like, did you ever read *Sapiens*? This book, *Sapiens*. It was all about the tribe. It wasn't about the individual, right? So if you're with the tribe,
It's more like a wolf pack kind of.
yeah,
like,
exactly. And if there was a baby in the tribe and the baby started crying, somebody would just pick up the baby in the tribe. It wasn't like now where it's like, that's my baby, don't touch that baby.
Have you heard of Sex at Dawn?
But yeah, I have heard of that.
Did you see the TED Talk though?
No.
It's if you don't want to read the book, just watch the TED Talk. It sums it up beautifully. And my favorite example in the TED Talk was that a woman used to like, so you two, I would like want your blue eyes and then your talent, and then I'd fuck both of
Whoa.
you. There you go. His musical talent.
Yeah.
And then
Hope the baby
well,
was
you're
one of those.
yeah, no, both.
That's
Like
the
no,
both one.
that was all they knew. So there, if there was another guy
Oh,
who
shit.
had, I don't know, like
So they
a
mixed
big
the,
dick,
they
yeah,
mixed
the
and
whatever.
matched the sperm
No,
and shit.
it's- I don't know.
Big muscles.
Whatever,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. So they didn't know, like that's what I'm saying. So there was again, it's all an understanding and a
It's
point
all
of view.
programming and
Right,
context,
exactly.
dude. Right now, we're living in this, and we are living
Okay.
in a material world.
So, and I am a material girl.
That's right, girl.
And that actually is a good point as to why we were talking about the heartbreak. I'm still that like hopeless romantic type where it's like it's almost like a contest. Like, okay, he's not the commitment type, but like
Maybe I can make him commit.
or be in first place type of deal, you know, where I'm like a side chick
Interesting.
or one of the team on the roster. I don't want to be on the roster. So that's my ego.
You want to be on the
Yeah.
roster? You want to be?
No, that's
well,
not
not
my
my-
point.
Oh, okay.
It's like I don't, and like, or if there is a roster, I don't want to know about the roster.
Right. I mean, I've been opening for D. Ray Davis, and he has 2 wives and a bunch of stuff.
He's got a
And
roster.
he's got a crazy. And the thing is, they all know about
Guy's
each
got
other.
a harem. That's a harem, dog.
Yeah, dude, it's wild.
How do you think like
It's
his?
dope.
Because that's basically what R. Kelly tried to do, but with kids, right?
Here's the
And
thing.
In
so-
cages.
People are like, how does D. Ray like deal? How would a man be able to deal with all those emotions? And I would go ahead and argue that he doesn't. The women support each other. He supports them as much as he can, but then the women also emotionally support each other.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because
They're
I
a team, man.
I
That's
check
what
up
I'm
on
saying.
like I guess the main one every once in a while just to see her vibe and
For real?
well, I look at like I'll see her Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then
they're very beautiful women.
yeah, and
Yeah, D. Ray's killing it.
I'm always surprised because a lot of those women have the energy, in my opinion, that wouldn't be down for something
Yeah.
like that. So it always takes me by surprise
Mm.
because usually,
And they
again-
probably weren't before they met him. I mean, that's probably part of it for him too, right?
I mean, and he's a nice guy.
I think black men especially come from a culture of supporting women. It shows itself in a form of like financial and providing for, where like they don't need to be as emotional. I mean, maybe I'm generalizing, but they don't need to be as emotionally present as some other women might or cultures might want or need. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, very yeah. Like they're like
That's just like
they
that's-
probably those girls probably grew up watching their moms and their aunts support each other and their you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
it's
you
interesting.
know.
Yeah, I hear entirely.
So I think it's, well, in my case with the girl I'm with, she's down to let me hook up with who I want to hook up with, and
Does
she
she
just
hook
wa-
up with other people?
she is at liberty to do that.
Okay.
You don't ask.
I don't need to know. She told me the rules are basically like, they need to know about me. I don't want to be a secret and I don't want to be replaced. So they just need to know about me.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
That's all.
Wow.
So that's it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they just need to know about me. Don't be doing it like all secretly and shit.
Well, and in her defense, that is how hearts get broken.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't know and you like started talking to me and I all of a sudden found out one day, I would have been really pissed
That-
and
yeah, that-
devastated.
That's progress through therapy, you know, because maybe one day, you know, Crystal's gonna break up with her dude, and she's gonna be emotionally vulnerable. And she's just gonna need somebody to hold her and make sweet love to her, and I'll be around. I said I could do that for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you got to be down the roster. That's what
I'm saying. Yeah, like for me,
But is that an ego thing? Why does your place on the roster matter?
Because you think of these women who are with D-Ray, right? You gotta admit that they're probably super confident in who they are.
Oh, it's
and they're not-
impossible for them not to be.
You can't be caught up in like, you know, because D-Ray at the end of the day, he's going to Mykonos with them too, not with his other side chicks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He provides for them. You know.
For me, it's more of kind of like they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's why you're not, I guess, allowed to join the military at a later age because you can't be brainwashed anymore.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of how I was just raised a certain way where it's I have came to a point where I know I could forgive infidelity for sure. Like if I was expected to be the only one, and we talked about this a lot on the podcast.
If you wanted to be a monogamous relationship with me, chances are I might end up cheating on you.
Well, right. And I might cheat as well because I was asked that question on the podcast and I said, I don't know because I've never been in a relationship longer than 3 years. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about somebody after being with them for 10 years. I can't answer that question.
I'll tell you, I have two good friends that just came down from Northern California. They've been together 12 years. They met in college. They've been wanting to open up the relationship because they were together, you know, relatively young, and the wife in particular, she hasn't had the opportunity to like, in her words, she's like, I want to go out like and be a slut a little bit. I want to go out and like fuck, you know.
It's fun.
Yeah,
it is.
It's fun, man. Even if it's not fucking, it's like making out with somebody. I mean, I'll make out with somebody at a bar. It's kind of fun, shit like that.
Have you ever listened to Patrice O'Neal talk about a lot of this? You can listen to old recordings.
Love
of him.
Patrice O'Neal. Damn, he has that one joke. He goes, my girlfriend's been dating me for 5 years. I've been dating her for about 8 months.
Yeah.
And so,
but he talks a lot about that, and his thing is, if like let's say I'm a fisherman and I lose the ability to catch fish, I have to go catch fish.
Oh, he did a whole bit.
For you to know that I can catch fish. You're drawn to the fisherman. You're not drawn to the guy with fish. You're drawn to the fisherman.
Yeah.
And if I'm not out catching fish, you don't know that I'm capable of catching fish. That's what he would say.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of you want that behind you. You want the confidence to know, like, oh, I can go out on a Friday night and make shit happen, even if you're with someone, you know?
Yeah, and I've talked to women and men who have watched their partner get fucked by somebody else in front of them, and basically they said there's a part of it that turns them on to see somebody else desire that person, and then it kind of reminds you, like, oh shit, that person is fire.
Whoa.
I have one friend who's, I'm not going to go into names, but his fiance likes to hear about when other women have been like flirting with him, or just like she likes to see that shit because it makes her be like, oh shit, my husband is like.
My ex used to say that to me. He would say, I just want to go out to remind myself to know I can get it.
Yeah, and because the reality of it is, like, when you go out to meet somebody and you try to have sex with somebody for the first time, it is kind of like, it's a little exhausting at this point in the game.
Yeah.
You know, I don't got that energy to.
I think especially I have this down to talk about, like, being an artist, you know?
It's hard, man. And for people to be down with you.
Right, because I had to talk to my current dude about that. It's like, hey, just don't forget what my number one goal is, you know, right now. Because I was planning on not dating because of how negative most people are. Well, you know, because at the bottom line is I work in a dispensary, you know, so it's like And
what does he do again? Sales? Like retail or something else?
No, like he makes good money. Wow. So and that's what his argument probably is like, well, you know, oh, well, maybe, you know, you could also do this and make like money. And it's like,
how'd you meet him?
He came to a mic because again thinking, and then he came up and like introduced himself, and I was like, oh, are you a comic? And he was like, oh no, and then he just started sliding through my DMs. So he's like, oh, I follow you on Instagram, and I was like, oh, okay, and then it kind of.
So he stalked you.
Interesting how that
I thought
happens.
that was cute. I was
All
like,
right. No,
yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
No, you like when somebody stalks you if you think they're cute and attractive.
Well, that was my whole joke. Is I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a sociopath, but you don't ever find that out until you try to leave somebody. You
Right.
know, because like if it's mutual, if it's a mutual obsession, then then what is it? You'll never know the dark side because it was never coming to an end. But no, yeah, the little like hiccup that we had, like you apologized and it didn't end up being as serious
As an issue,
as
you talked through it.
Yeah,
How's the sex?
it's good. But his sex drive is very high.
Is that right?
yeah.
Is it too high for you?
Sometimes,
Wow. Does you want to fuck multiple times in a day or something?
yes,
You can't do that?
yes, but again,
Does it hurt?
I have my limits.
Does it hurt?
I feel like there's a difference in multiple times in one day and multiple times in 7 days. Or
Yeah.
like.
I had an ex-girlfriend who we would have fucked multiple times in the day, but I kept her vagina couldn't take it.
Yeah.
Physically, her vagina couldn't take it.
Well, yeah, even with like lube and stuff, it's like
Yeah.
it's something that, and for me, I mean, not to be selfish, but it's like I'm sorry, like if I'm not horny, then I don't want to do it, And then when I'm horny, then let's do it. So,
Interesting.
So you don't believe in when your partner is horny? It's
no, but I
Satisfying?
do. I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
absolutely. I believe that a woman should, because I think a guy's, for the most part, sex drive can be a lot higher than us women. And
We're putting Krystle on the spot here.
it's okay. I like it. It's the healthy gossip.
That's
That's why
right.
we're here.
That's
Yeah.
exactly. I want to talk about stuff like that. And again, well, you said hurt, and that's definitely it has.
Is that an issue? Oh, he's packing some heat.
Well, I think.
Oh, he's got a song about heat. Here it goes.
Cause we're getting freaky, deaky tonight. Ain't no rules for us. Just put that chocolate in your mouth. Freaky, deaky tonight. Don't say a word, just hush. Just call the room service. They're bringing up some rope and some whips and some chains. Gonna tie you up to the hotel. Small refrigerator, girl. Gonna have something from the mini bar, maybe a tiny Fiji bottle. Am I gonna drink it or am I gonna put it in my butt?
Aren't those square shaped?
Cause we're getting, free.
Ooh.
Like I said, we're getting freaky, deaky tonight.
What are you guys? How are you guys on all this whole butt eating thing that's going around?
Yeah, I mean, post shower, if I know it's clean, then let's do it.
For you?
I mean, for having my butt
Yeah.
eaten? Oh yeah, I mean, I'm down. I gotta just have I gotta make sure everything's okay over there. I mean, for me,
Alex is
Nah, you know what?
I
Dude?
thought white boys are into that.
I'm vanilla as fuck, I guess.
Me
so-
too. I had to tell
Here,
my dude that.
You
You're
want
vanilla,
you want a healthy gossip confession? I don't
Yeah.
talk about this a lot. It's not even that I
Yeah.
don't talk about it. It's just not something I think about. I've never fucked an ass. Not a
Okay.
dude's or a chick's. I'm not bisexual. I've never fucked an ass.
I think a lot of people haven't, man.
no,
I don't think that's weird.
Yeah.
No, I mean out here, it's such a big part of culture right now, though. Ass play, ass eating, the
Yeah.
groceries, all that, and it's like I hear a lot of people talk about it, and I'm like, I don't think they deliver the way they talk. You know what I mean?
So I will say a little small insert with like a fingertip is
Oh.
cool.
Dude, I get a finger so far up my asshole, and then I come so fucking hard. And you could quote me on that shit.
Oh my god.
Like super hard. And like when I can do it, when everything is ready to go down there, yeah, dude, let's go fire away. But some nights I'm like, don't do it right now.
Fire
just-
away.
I'm just saying, if you out there and you haven't busted a nut with a finger deep inside your, if you haven't busted a nut with a finger deep inside your butt, you gotta do it. Do it today. Call 1-800 finger in my butt.
Oh yeah. I thought you were gonna say dial 1-800-MORGAN-J.
Oh.
Hey, I knew there was a rhyme there too.
MORGANJ, dude. That's 7.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we just got a new song for him.
Well, I thought about starting a new podcast where we just try to come up with one song on the podcast, like what it's
That's
going to be
cool.
about.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's sick.
A comedian, Loki, who I consider a mentor, but he doesn't know that.
Ooh.
Is he a friend too?
He's a
Okay.
friend too, and he was on Last Comic Standing, and I kind of approached him about this whole NBC thing that I'm doing, and he's just offered a lot of really good advice over the years, which I could pass down to you guys over the year, because I guess we've mostly been talking this year. But when you do a podcast, you have to define what you want to get out of it, because if we're being honest, unless you're a huge name, not everybody. You're not going to have the same listenership as Joe Rogan or Mark
Right.
Maron or people like that. So you need to define what you want to get out of it. With my first podcast, Relationship Status, I wanted to talk to couples, relationships, see how they handle things. So with the next one, I want to just try to help generate material, because I'm going to have to be in that position to be able to put out one special and another special and shit like that.
That's
you know?
cool.
So
That's really cool. And
Yeah.
mine is just talking about the things that. So the idea behind gossip is that it's bad. It's like, don't gossip.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, like for me, but that's also, there's that contradictory advice about how like when you keep things in, you'll explode.
100%.
So that's why it's like, no, it's healthy to gossip. And
It's
like,
yeah.
yeah, like let's gossip. And even if it's about like, sometimes I get into like celebrity stuff, and I'm actually like really into like healthy lifestyle as well. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of like and mixed meanings in the name.
Hold
but-
up. You wouldn't put a finger in a butt? I want to talk about this some
Yes,
more.
I've done that.
Not with those nails. That's dangerous.
Well, why do you
fuck
think
some
this
shit
one's so short?
No. Are you for real?
The fat one?
Are you for real? Damn, dude. Getting me all naughty over here with that finger. Let
I
me look at it.
mean-
Moment of silence. Let me stare at the finger in the eye.
It might even be a little shit.
Well, no, real talk. I mean, my girl, she's taken her finger out. There's been a tiny piece of dookie on it.
Well, obviously.
I've also
I
had
know you also told us that she like mines it out. Like she gets up there, yeah.
I mean, she gets far into
She
my
mines.
butthole.
Well, you're gonna find some.
You're gonna
If you
find
get far
something.
up there.
Dude, one
Yeah,
time
unless you're
she
eating
was
a
up there.
really great diet.
She found a key that I lost, and it turned out it opened my mailbox.
Oh.
Oh, that's not true, but I thought it would sound funny. I don't know.
It's pretty funny. It is pretty
I like the
funny.
mailbox turn.
Okay, so you're almost like just a nice quintessential LA where it's love is love as long as it's honest type of dude.
Yeah, I think so. Although sometimes I wonder. I think we're always changing. We're always evolving. And for example, her and I, sometimes we have really freaky deaky rough sex, really pervy role play sex, and some nights I don't want to do that. It's like very taxing because I always have to be the
Yeah, I
dominant.
don't like that stuff.
I always have to be the dominant one, and sometimes I'd love a girl to just be like, "Yo, like what? Like tell me what to do." I don't want to be hit or choked. I've done that. I wasn't into it.
What? See, I like a little choke.
Now I'll choke you.
Okay. No, yeah. See, I like being choked a little bit. I don't like any of that role play stuff. I
Really?
don't like. No, like.
Here, hold on. Let me try something real quick with you. I'm gonna come in, and I'm gonna interview you for a job. Okay.
Okay.
Ready? Here we go. Krystle, 50. We're at 50. Krystle, thank you so much for coming in for the position at our law firm. I got to be honest with you. We do have somebody we'd like to hire, but I'd feel remiss if I didn't interview all the candidates and give them an opportunity. The other girl's a very lovely girl. So I want to take a. You're clearly qualified for this this job, but I have to ask you some questions. We have some late nights here. How do you feel about working late?
That's okay.
Yeah, this is a team gig. I know I have a wife and kids. Do you have a partner in your life?
I do.
You do have. Okay. Are they okay with you working late and spending some time away from the home?
Yeah, they knew what I signed up for.
Because it's late nights. Sometimes it could just be you and me.
That's fine.
And how are you looking to other places? Do you really need a job right now? Are you like?
Yes.
Yeah. So the other candidate really showed us how hard how much they wanted the job, and I'm wondering if you're a team player and you want to show me you want the job.
All right, that's cool.
I feel like I've seen this video.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's super
I feel
easy.
like Alex is blushing over
It's
there.
super easy.
He's like, should I stop recording?
Because
No,
I'm a- 'cause
I
I
was
went
about
to-
apply
And
for the
leave.
job. I was
'Cause I-
like, oh, dude.
Because I'm a classically trained actor, and I believe it. I believe I'm a creep when I do these
Alex
act outs.
was gonna apply. He's like,
I'm
Krystle,
ready.
no, you
Yeah,
leave.
yeah. Get out of here. I got an interview to conduct.
That was nice.
And then what? Then I
Okay.
then I put a hand on
So
the
it
leg.
has to be an
I
actor.
put a hand on a leg. I whisper in your ear. It's like because we are gonna have some late nights together. You know what I'm saying, Krystle?
I know what you're saying.
And we're gonna have to share some secrets. You could be my work wife.
Oh, let's
could
consummate
do
that
it.
work marriage.
So if
I'm
you
not-
haven't listened to episode 1 and 2 about the gossip, this is the kid. This is the kid. Yeah, because I also posted an Instagram post about this comic that I had a crush on.
Yeah.
And it was him.
You gotta understand. I don't watch a lot of other people's stuff anymore on Instagram.
You weren't following me and then when I did that anyway.
I've
so
turned
that
off
was the whole thing.
notifications. I don't check who watches my story really anymore.
As you shouldn't.
And
I check my inbox, but yeah, I don't check really who watches. I don't have anybody who I care because I'm.
I have a question for both of you. I think you have. I'm sure you have. How many comics have you each dated?
I've never dated a comic, but I've slept with 2 comedians.
Okay.
I think I've hooked up with 2.
All right.
Yeah.
I've hooked up. I've slept with 2. But then the sex was
Not
really
him.
good.
Him and I have not hooked up on the record.
Yeah, I'd be nervous to hook up with you, Krystle, because on your story you throw mega shade at like people. I think. Like it's good. Like
About people that I date?
I'd just be nervous about what you might say about
But like
me.
shade about what?
I don't know. You
He doesn't want to get a bad review. Maybe he's having an off night.
Oh no, I mean I'm
I
gonna
don't
lay
ever
it
talk.
down.
Yeah, I don't talk.
You don't talk about anybody by name, but you'll post things like if he does that or this, like you'll repost from other people's stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah. Well, if you send me something, but you would never do that to me. If you send me like a weird comment, you better believe I'm gonna screenshot and post it. I won't tag you. Or if you.
That's right, because you've done that. Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll do that all
Or
day.
like I had an ex-boyfriend who made me, like with the body dysmorphia stuff, or body stuff, right?
No, I don't shade bodies. But no, I
Didn't you have an
texted.
ex-boyfriend who said like made
He
you
shamed
feel,
me.
He shamed you.
Yeah,
Damn,
he shamed
fucked
me.
up.
I didn't shame him. I give my current guy now like a little bit of, I was like, hey, babe, we should maybe start meal prepping or something, or whatever, because he's such a good-looking guy and like he's just a little thick, whatever.
Yeah.
But
I
no,
think that's
but
healthy.
the last thing that I did text my ex from one of those Google Voice numbers,
Oh.
and I was like, where are you at?
That's right.
Yeah, that's not shade. I'm all that's him being
I
a
saw
dumbass.
that.
Yeah.
That is wild.
I don't like that at all.
Did you see that though?
No, I didn't.
I texted him and then he was like, "Come through," and I was like, "What's the address?" And then he sends the address, and then
The
and I
address.
was like, "Do you have condoms?" And he said yes. So then I screenshotted and I sent it to him, and I was all sucker.
What? Bro, he is acting a
Dude, this
fool
is
out
why.
there.
So oh man, that's.
Hero. I think it's funny. People love it. I like the reactions. I get
Yeah,
out of
people love it. How did it make you feel?
I don't care. It was my ex, and him and I.
Oh,
have,
you did it too. I thought it was like while you guys were together.
No, I did it recently.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
like, damn.
No, because he was like, he'll
That
hit-
just blew my mind to the possibilities.
Oh
Krystle,
no. I
trying
did.
to catch you slipping,
I'm shady, apparently.
making you
No.
tripping.
No, but yeah, I will definitely call some.
I like
folks
that's good.
out.
That's you
Yeah.
keep it. I like.
and I do talk about a lot of stuff that happens like
I like that you keep it real.
in stand up. Well, I mean, I talked about you on stage at
I
the
like
Ice
that.
House.
And then we kissed on the stage.
Yeah, our
was like
first
this, it was
kiss.
like this,
It
it
was
was
cute.
like- Bro, I shared an open lip kiss with a dude on stage on Saturday.
Ooh.
No, you didn't.
I got this new song where I kiss dudes on stage.
Yeah, I've heard the song. Do you want to sing a little? Let's see if you can seduce Alex with it.
Dude,
Oh no, but it's that bro song. Have you heard the bro song?
I may have.
So, bro. Oh, so it's something like,
Oh yeah, I've seen you do this
bro,
before.
I'm just clowning around, but bro, if you're down, then I'm down. Just a little kiss, and then I do this whole crowd work portion.
Wait, and so when did the kiss come?
So for example, this night I saw a guy in the crowd and I was like, this dude's definitely gay. So I do this part in the song where I go, you dude, what's your name, bro? Or let's do it with that. Let's do it with Alex.
Alright.
You dude, what's your name, bro?
Alex.
Alex, that's a cool fucking name, Alex.
Oh, thank you.
Never heard that name before. And then I'll be like, Alex, do you like chicks? And if you're gay, you'd say,
No.
same, bro. Chicks are fucking stupid. And then I make him come up and take a selfie with me, and then I'd be like, bro, do you want to like kiss a little bit? And then
Oh, so you're doing this to gay dudes?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
not
I'll
ma-
also do it to a straight dude too.
If they will.
I'll be like, bro, give me like a little kiss on the cheek, dude.
Have straight dudes kiss you?
One straight dude did.
Really?
But this dude on Saturday,
Wow, I like it.
this dude on Saturday gave me an open lip kiss, and I was like, well, fuck. This bit will evolve into me just hardcore making out with the man on stage. And I'm not, you know, nowadays your comedy has to be woke. You know, it's like, I swear to God, it's like you want to make it, you have to like dabble with
Alex and I are like, we're so vanilla.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a light
it.
little.
No, don't confuse vanilla with woke.
No.
Woke is like, you support the gay community, we support all that shit. I'm saying like,
Supporting doesn't mean participating.
I mean, you're right. Maybe I'm going too far.
Support it all day. But
Yeah, you're right.
I don't want to eat pussy. Okay, let me see. Let me check my little checklist here. Good. This episode felt right. It felt the timing was good.
I'd love to come back.
I would love
Come
to have
back.
you back. Yeah, we have to come back after Bring the Funny.
Let's do it. Let's see if I pop off. Let's see if something happens.
Yeah, I know. I hope, like you said, it translates.
No. Let's see when you pop off. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. It
Well,
might
there
not
you
be now,
go.
but let's see when you pop off.
Yeah.
If it's not NBC, it'll be.
Yeah,
For
hopefully.
sure.
We'll see.
And Alex and I'll be right behind you. Okay, so you sang for us. Thank you so much for that. Yes, we told a little story about the ice house and how you broke my heart. Was that clear? Did I get that across?
Oh, no.
So basically,
didn't.
what had happened was after the ice house, I started texting him like pretty consistently. I mean, we
Yeah, she
made
was saying
out.
very sweet things in the text, and I was like, I got nervous. But like, also something about me, I'm not big on words of affirmation. Like, I miss you. You're making me so like all that cute
I
stuff.
didn't say I miss you.
You didn't say, but it was getting very cute.
Yeah, I was probably just like I was flirting.
They make you uncomfortable? Is
It
that what you're
did
saying?
because I was worried I would hurt you. So I just straight up, I had to tell her like straight up.
Well, yeah. So I asked him. I was like, "Am I texting you too much?" And he was like, "Well, I am seeing someone." And in my brain, I was like, "You said it was open, you fucking asshole." No, I know he knew. He knew. He knew my vibe had shifted a little bit. So, and maybe
Yeah.
it is apparent that my I always use the word alpha female, like, because again, we were talking about all those other women being in open things. It is a different type, like, because it also does come from my insecurities.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not down, and maybe that's actually what it is. It's like those women are so confident. They're like, this is what I am, and this is who I am.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, for me, no.
Yeah. And then I broke your
No.
heart.
Oh, so then when he said that, I was like, I just to go, okay. I was like, I'll stop texting you.
Let's take a look here.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh yeah, it was like we didn't text too much.
No.
So-
like, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't even being
She goes,
that
"Do
aggressive.
I text you too much?" LOL. Nah, I'm just with my buddy hanging. I can get annoying. And then I said, "But
was
you
drunk.
you should know that the girl I've been seeing, like, we're girlfriend and boyfriend now. Like, we're open. Like, I can F. I'm so stupid. I'm like, this is how I'm talking. I'm gonna show you how I'm like. But you should know that the girl I've been seeing, like, we girlfriend and boyfriend now. Like, we open. Like, I can F out here, but I want to be open about it with you, so you don't get upset." And then you go, "Okay, damn."
Damn.
I said, "Okay, damn." I said, "I don't want to be a totally bad boy." She goes, "Oh, I have to stop texting you. I definitely have feelings for you."
No, I didn't say that.
Girl, it's right here, dude. It's right here. It's right here. Read it. Girl, I have to stop texting you. I definitely have feelings for you. I sincerely appreciate your honesty. I'm in a space where I'd like to have some reciprocation. XOXO. I'm sorry, love. Again, thank you so much for your honesty. And then
Who gets the trophy for the most corn, though?
okay, I understand. I just heard so many. That's what I said. I said, okay, I understand. I just heard so many people in the past trying to be full disclosure with people. And then a
So
couple.
it's weird when you come to that point, right? Well, where you're trying to be like true to yourself and
Trying
what
to be
you
as
need,
good as I can,
but you're
yeah.
trying to be good to other people, and that's like that's where I'm at in life. I hear you.
Yeah, and then the rest of the
Yeah.
texting was planning the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because again, I think that was a really cool move on both of us that we didn't like, because I think you and I are both a little slutty, that we could have easily just been like, fuck it, let's hook up.
I'd
you
love
know?
to rub some coconut oil on you.
But I'm also I have a lot of friends that are like this too. Like they can hook up with people that they know that they aren't really that into. Kind of like a really good looking stupid person or something, you know, or like
course.
you know they might be good at
Yeah.
I think he knows what you're talking about, actually.
Yeah, and but I'm not with
we couldn't
someone.
we could not hook up and keep it just hooking up.
I mean, you could, but
probably
clearly,
could, yeah.
you could do it all day.
Yeah. It's so funny. I have another, but we have to wrap it up. But I have another
Yeah.
buddy who's been seeing a girl for like 8 months, and they've been hooking up. And she's a comic, and she has a joke about him where she's like, "I've been dating this dude for 8 months, and he doesn't call me his girlfriend still. So what are we doing out here? What am I doing?" But now he's taking photos of her and putting her in her story and shit. And I talked to her at a show, and I was like, "Man, you girls just be out here being persistent and being around and indispensable." She's like, "You better fucking believe it."
Dang.
And now she weaseled her way into his life, and now he can't. You know, real talk. I think she'd be sucking his dick like every day, like several times a day.
Yeah, see, no, I ain't down with that life either.
Okay.
Because
That's how you get on the Instagram. That's how you get up the roster. It's a free market out
oh,
here.
I'm
You
on
gotta
my
compete.
man's Facebook.
Did
damn
you see?
it.
Did you see Five? The one with Chris Rock, the movie Top 5.
No.
So there's a scene in the movie where I think Gabrielle Union is the chick who's married to Chris Rock, and then finally she asks Chris to do something, and he's like, "Nah," and she's like, "Do you think I've been sucking your dick the moment you get home every day for the last several years, so you would not do this shit for me?" She got so pissed in the movie. It was really funny. It was real talk.
I would never be in a part of that life. That's
Yeah.
all I gotta say. I'm not about that life. And on that note, you know that I'm a selfish lover. Oh, a guy told me that one time. He's like, I need to get a shirt made that says "selfish in bed" because I want all the pleasure, and maybe that's why I'm actually kind of in a good place right now.
Gotta
Oh
go
man
for
goes
you.
to work. He goes to work. And the other day in bed, I will say, and this is probably why I shouldn't ever post him. This poor guy, he'll be so humiliated if people actually.
Have you posted him?
No, I haven't.
Instagram.
But
sure?
if I I took a picture of him like while he was going down on me.
Did you?
Yeah, and then I didn't think the flash was on, and then it flashes.
You crazy,
And
dude.
I was like, babe, I'm so sorry. I thought it would be funny if I sent it to him as a text message, which I did anyways. But like the fact that the flash went off, I was so embarrassed. Oh my god. And that's what I'm saying, because I like, you know, I don't really want people. And my last relationship too, I will say, it ended bad and quick and fast, and I posted him and it was embarrassing. Okay, so guys, we're gonna have Morgan back super soon. Please tune in tomorrow night to watch Bring the Funny
Oh, no, tonight is the premiere episode.
on NBC.
And
No,
then,
because this episode is gonna release Monday.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, watch tomorrow night, 10 p.m.
Yes.
Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Woo! I'm super excited. Good luck to you, Morgan, and thank you so much for
And
being here. And thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex. Follow me at Morgan J. And don't forget to follow at Comedy Pop-Up. And know that I will be embarrassed about what I said here in 2 years.
Me too.
I'll look back on it and be like,
Ditto.
holy
It's called
shit.
growth.
It's the healthy
growth.
gossip, baby.
See you guys later.
See you on the next one.